Hello, today's Father's Day. I think it's June 16th. I didn't even check the date, but it's Father's Day 2024, and I'm coming out from behind the Watertown Savings Bank in Watertown Square. Gonna take a little walk with you and show you what the square looks like right now and what they're planning on doing with it, because I went to the meeting the other day and found out a lot of things about what they wanted to do. So there's Watertown Savings Bank right there. It says here, founded in 1870, but I have to figure that out because I looked at pictures and I saw some pictures where this building wasn't built yet. So I actually have the book with me today. Oh, here we go. Designed and built in 1892 by Charles Brigham, Watertown's resident and one of Boston's leading 20th century architects. Okay, I guess it was built in 1892, but it says founded in 1870. So that means that it probably was a bank before this, and I know that it was. So this tablet marks the George Washington Memorial Highway at Watertown 1732 to 1932. That plaque was put there in 1932. One of the things that I found out by going to the town meeting on the development of Watertown Square is that this building will be untouched. It adds character, that's what they said. It adds character. So this building here will be untouched. And so right here at this light, what they're planning on doing is making this a right-hand turn right here, which would probably take this area that I'm in right now out and cut across here, or it might just go down here. So when I was a little kid, this was a rotary until probably the late 1970s, I want to say, and then they took it down and made this bus loop here. And so ever since I was a young teenager, this has been the bus loop where cars are not allowed to go, so it's just for catching the bus over here. And so what they want to do is they want to make this a right-hand turn and turn it here so you can go straight across the bridge over there on Galen Street. And they probably have to redesign a lot of this to make that happen. And over here, this is the Watertown Delta. This was established in the early 1920s. And 3 trees were planted. 2 of them are still here. One just died a few years ago. But that tree and that tree were both planted in 1926, if I remember correctly. So this is the Delta. This would be gone. They would take this area and get rid of it altogether. So the right turn would be right there and go this way by this building. This is another historical building here, and cut over here to go over the bridge up to Galen Street. Now, they would also be taking some of the land, probably, I'm guessing, I saw the map, but it's a little confusing. I'm doing it from memory from the other day. I didn't pull it. I'll probably use one of the pictures I took in the meeting as the icon for this, but I think they're going to have a little grassy area right over here. That's the bike path there that goes down by the river. That's ever expanding bike path. That's not a bad thing. And then over here, this intersection, it's a 5-way intersection. So right here where I'm looking, this part is Main Street. The cars that are coming out from over this way, heading towards here, that's up on Auburn Street. You turn a little bit more, you got Arsenal Street, North Beacon Street, and over there is Charles River Road. So it's quite a big intersection, and it's been this way, like I said, since probably the the late 70s. I don't exactly remember when they switched it, but I know it was sometime when I was like 12 or 13 maybe. I don't know. Maybe a little younger. I'm not sure. I know it was like this since I was 14, but before that I'm not entirely sure when I switched. I do remember the rotary though. Anyway, so what they want to do is they want to take Charles River Road and bend it and have it, actually maybe I'll talk about that when I cross over the street there. But yeah, they want to take that out, that part of the intersection out to make it just more of a four-way. So it would be Arsenal Street, North Beacon, because that's like kind of the same thing right there. They do fork off about half a block up, but as far as the intersection is concerned, it's one street coming out. Main Street, Mount Auburn Street, and over the bridge. So when I heard that as part of the plan, I wasn't actually all that upset. They were also talking about expanding over here, making a bigger grassy area. There's gonna probably be a lot more park area around here. But the part that really bothers me, and I'm gonna spin around again. Actually, maybe I'll cross over and start talking over there. I was gonna pull out this book and do some of the before and after looks, but this is a big topic, so maybe I won't. This is where I saw one of our local politicians doing pro-Palestine rally. He was over here with a ceasefire sign last weekend and the weekend before that, and I have mixed emotions about that. I'm not sure where I stand on that issue at all. I think it's totally a distraction, and it's how to get U.S. into World War III. Not that we're not already in World War III, but as you see, as I cross this intersection, it is a long intersection, a long wait time on these lights. A very long wait time on these lights. So over here, for a little bit of past, right where it says H&R Block over there, that used to be an ice cream store when my dad was little, and his mom would give him a dime to go and buy ice cream and go to the movies with one dime. So I like to use a lot of my father's memories because they're now my memories now that he's gone. But so here I am on Charles River Road over here, and the plan would be to take this part of it out right here and bend it so that it comes out a little bit up North Beacon Street. I don't know if they'd have to go into the McDonald's parking lot or not, but they would bend it and make it a right turn only, so you could enter this way but you couldn't exit this way. I don't know if it would be entirely a one-way, hopefully not, or if it would just be you can only go in one way. But now let's see, it's so funny, these memorials have been around here all my life and I hardly ever looked at them until the past few years. So E pluribus unum, First World War, I don't recognize any names there. Second World War, I guess these are people that died, but I don't entirely know for sure. Collie McCall was my dad's friend who died over there, and he was a Watertown resident. So if it's people who died, he's not on here that I'm seeing. I see McHugh, McNamara, Morgan, Molinari, Miller, Mullins, no McCall. What's this one? Across was the birthplace of Benjamin Robbins Curtis, 1809 to 1874, son of a New England shipmaster and Watertown mother, and son of a New England shipmaster and a Watertown mother, he was a strong influence in protecting American ideas and constitutional government in times of intense political excitement. His power of clear statement made him the leader and lawyer of his day. A judge of the Supreme Court of the United States in 1857, he wrote the famous dissenting opinion in the Dred Scott case, a great factor in clearing Northern sentiment of the slavery issue. By his arguments, senior counsel for President Johnson in the impeachment proceedings before the Senate in 1868, he defeated impeachment and steadied the government of the United States. Huh, interesting. I don't think I ever read that stone before. All right, I'm gonna cross over this way, over the bridge. If I have time, I'm gonna walk up to a church that's right up that way, because they're also planning on making that into apartments. But so I was talking about the Delta over there where I just was, and I forgot to mention that part of the plan would be to put shops on the Delta, basically getting rid of the Delta entirely, and giving like a little marketplace area right there. I don't know what kind of shops, probably Starbucks, something like that, but yeah, this is the Galen Street Bridge right here, the end of Mount Auburn Street and the beginning of Galen Street. Never entirely sure where one ends and one begins, but let's walk across the bridge. It's going to be a lot noisier over here because of the traffic. That is one sweet car right there. Nice. Anyways, so you can't really see it because of the trees over here, but there's a big building over there I'm getting a little closer to. This is where they were talking about putting a 5-story apartment complex to house that and a few other places. They're talking about putting a 5-story apartment complex to put like 3,000 apartment units right here in this already congested little area. They're also talking about changing the zoning laws so that some of the buildings over there would be torn down and rebuilt as apartment complexes too. They increased the height zone. They're trying to, anyways. It hasn't happened yet. Increasing the height of places and changing the zones so you can build in places you weren't allowed to build, things like that before. Once again, those things are not set in stone yet. We need to get down to these meetings and speak out. But so now I'm coming around this corner. So right here is where you catch the bus. This is a bus yard. They're saying that that's not really being used effectively land-wise. Sorry, big truck here. But that area right there is where my father's father was born. Right there. There was a house that used to stand there, and that's where my father's father was born. And there's already a big building up the street there that's going to be biolabs and such. They didn't talk about this intersection at all in the meeting. This intersection wasn't mentioned, but they did say something about taking over the bus yard and building a huge complex right there. So I'm gonna cross back over the bridge again. There's so many people around already. I don't know how it's gonna work if you add another 3,000 families. You can see people on the dock over there enjoying the sunny day. It's beautiful out. There's some ducks in the water down there. But yeah, it's gonna be very different. Like I said before, I don't mind the traffic layout part of this. And I even can deal with the shops going where the Delta is and having the Delta taken away, even though that would break my heart. But I can understand that being an effective use of the space. But to pack in 3,133 new apartments in this very center of town, I'm sorry, that's absolutely outrageous and disgusting. And when I was at the meeting the other day, I found out that one man had already done the research on how many apartments and living units there are in the entire town of Watertown. There already are, and it's about 3,000. It's a little over 3,000. So it would be essentially doubling the number of people living here in a very, very short amount of time. And where are we getting these people? Where are they coming from? They're not going to be families. They might be a couple of starter families, like with just one baby or like even two babies, but anyone who wants to stay and raise their kids, that's not going to be part of this. This is going to be transient workers. This is going to change the whole dynamic of the town. So I think I'm going to cross over here now. I'm back here on Charles River Road. I think I have enough time to walk up to the church, but I'm not sure. Anyways, I'll try and give you a better idea on where they're turning this road. So I'm guessing I'll cross over before I start talking because I don't want to get hit. But so this is the end of Charles River Road, right where I am right now, and as you see, it's right in the intersection. And this over here is North Beacon Street. But if they were to bend it right down here on Riverside and have it come straight out here, which is what I think they're gonna do. They're gonna bend it right down there and have it come out right here and then make it a right-hand turn only, so you wouldn't be able to access the square from right here. You'd have to go up North Beacon Street or up Arsenal Street and turn around somewhere up that way. So you wouldn't be able to go, do a straight shot from Charles River Road back up this way. From here you can see the bank, which is very iconic, Watertown. And beyond that you can see the St. Patrick's Church steeple. Now, let me see if I can, I brought this book out and show you, let's see, flipping through pages in the book to see if I can get the same shot. I know there's pictures of it in here, but I don't have them bookmarked. But, okay, there's part of the bank there, oops, right there. There's part of the bank right there. So that was, this is a book by, Kara Marcus, Watertown Square Through Time. And right there, it shows part of the bank was there before the bank was actually built. And over here, you can see the church that was across the street from my house when I was a kid. It's torn down now. Torn down when I was a kid. Oh, here's, okay, I found some pictures. Pardon me. So, there's the square now. And there's the square then, and there's the square now. So I'm almost in the same location that these pictures were taken. See that? That's that same building. That same corner. Anyways. Which way is it beeping now? So it will drastically change the square just to do the upgrades on the traffic and the studies on the traffic. It's going to take a lot of work and a lot of planning to do that. But I don't know. It's just going to be a nightmare if they start putting in high rises. They're talking about high rises over here where these buildings, these old buildings are. The Yerxa building, and Basically, the only thing they said would remain untouched is the bank, a Watertown Savings Bank. What the hell? Somebody's honking their horn. It is a giant intersection here. There is a lot of cars that come through this every day. Let me see if I can get all the way across. Yeah, here we go. But yeah, right here, it used to be a gas station when I was a kid, and I remember the gas lines from the early 70s where they were all lined up all the way down the street here trying to get gas. And then you can see these older buildings here that are all destined for destruction. The Natalie building, the Yerxa building. Maybe I'll do part 2 with the book out at home, because it's kind of hard to do the book right here. It'll take too much time flipping through pages. But yeah, right there on the cover. Right there on the cover, it shows. You can see the bank. You can see this. Actually, you can't see the church steeple there. That's funny. All right, I won't do the book right now. I won't bore you with that because it's not gonna come out well right now. But I'm sure all of these older buildings will be gone if they're gonna put in all these apartments. All of these older buildings are probably not getting renovated. I'm guessing they're not gonna get renovated. They're just gonna get destroyed. I really do have mixed emotions about it. It's heartbreakingly sad because when I walk around the square, I still see my dad to this day. Like, I see him everywhere I go, because he was always walking around the square. Over here, Dire Liquors, and right next door, it took over Barca's Spa years ago, but it used to be Barca's Spa right there. You'd go in there and get candy, penny candy. I remember going in there. There was always a bunch of old men sitting out front shooting the shit. And well, I remember one of their names, Smokey. They were all about my dad's age. He would always stop and say hi to them. But yeah, there's a church. You can kind of see the steeple. It's not that far, but I don't really feel like walking to it. But it's not being used for a church anymore. And it's destined for also becoming apartments. Now, one of the things that I wanted to mention on this video, I'm starting to get to the point where I'm running out of things to say. Although I'm never going to run out of things to say about this topic, but part of the things that I wanted to talk about is the number of people who were living in the town when I was a kid versus when I was an adult. Now, I saw this happen in real time when I was here. I will walk up this way. So when I was I grew up a block from here. My first apartment was a half a block from here. And my second apartment was a half a block from here. This was my neighborhood until I was 27 years old, and then I moved like half a mile away. So yes, I'm a local. But when I was growing up, there was families. There was big families. There was community. There was a ton of people here, but they were all in houses. They weren't transient people. They were people who were well established here, and people that cared about the community, people that grew up here, people that lived their whole lives here, like my father, like me, like my grandparents. They didn't disappear. They didn't come for a few years to work at the biolabs and then go buy a house somewhere else. This is where they established their homes. And then in the 90s, it started getting really oppressive to rent here. It got higher and higher rents, and I mean, nothing compared to what it is now, but to have 90s rent right now would be amazing. But yeah, if you look down between these two houses, you'll see my second two apartments. The house right back there, and the way back with the brick-looking roofish. It's not brick, but it looks like brick. And right across from it, there's a white house tucked in under the bushes. That's where I lived. My first two apartments. And my first apartment rent was $600, and the second was for a whole house, and it was whole entire house was $850. So, and yeah, I'm walking down here. So back to what I was saying, they made it impossible for families to live here, and they more and more families moved away because it was getting so expensive. So a lot of older people stayed, but people raising kids moved to other towns and left here, including a lot of people I know. There's still kids here, don't get me wrong. There's still people I know who stayed here all the time, but it got harder and harder. And so the population started to age without a replenishment of youth, without, you know, the school sizes got smaller and smaller because people were moving away. So if you look at the town census, which I will pull out when I do this book at home, beautiful lovely chemtrail up there. But if you look at the town census from 1960, it was far deal greater population number than it was in 2010. And this is one of the things that all the people saying put I just lost track of what I was saying. Sorry about that. So a lot of the people who are pushing this whole, you know, we need new blood in town, we need new apartments, we need people to be able to have affordable housing and all of this stuff. There's other ways to do affordable housing without packing people in like sardines and ruining the town. There's plenty of other ways. How about we incentivize people's houses, like help that. But yeah, there was one woman that was yelling about that. It was a bigger population when I was a kid and it wasn't that crowded. Well, yeah, because it was families and we were spread out all over town. And it was a more vibrant town back then, and it is more of a dead town right now. But what we're doing right now is putting the final knife in, the final bullet in the head of this town. If we put 3,000 people in here that are transient and not staying here, it's just so frustrating. I don't know. But yeah, I'm gonna start walking back towards my motorcycle. It is motorcycle riding weather today, and I gotta text my daughter back because I saw the text come in. But yeah, I guess that building over there used to be a train station. That's the gray building, but it used to be a train station. So, you know, as I'm researching all of this stuff, I'm realizing that a lot of it, change happens, you know, things don't stay the same. And you can't expect them to, but the way we're changing things has been moving us in a direction, and I believe it was very well planned out because it was right around the same time Agenda 21 started being implemented in the law books, and that's when it became unaffordable to live here, and that's when families started moving out, and that's when they cleaned out the town to redo it. So I'm gonna squeeze by this little truck here because I want to walk down this alley over here, which is where they painted a mural of what they want Watertown to be. And I'll show you this again. It's very demonic. It's very disgusting. It's very Agenda 21, because you'll see. I already did a video on this, but it's got people, like weird people in apartments, and this lady with the chicken body. You got your rainbow. You come down here, you got another chicken body thing here. The hell does that mean? The world without borders right there, painted on Watertown Square. Guess what they're trying to do? Guess what they're trying to do? Guess what they're pretty much succeeding in doing? So there's somebody in the apartment meditating, and somebody over there. Two people up on the porch up there. Car parked inside a building. This is all Agenda 21. And another chicken. And two more people. Look at it. It looks like a lesbian couple in an apartment right there. They're not trying to push us in one direction. Oh no, you're a paranoid conspiracy theorist. What is with the chickens? And the woman with the chicken head. And there's another apartment. Look, there's another apartment with a kid. One kid. What is that part there? I didn't even notice that before. There's like a van or a bus or something up there. This thing is such an... Oh, what does this say? So seriously, do some research on this guy here. Look, it's even got the learn more sign. I see a dream. This guy has some of the most demonic art. This painter, Amir Taba, whatever. If you look it up, he's got animal sacrifice and all kinds of shit like that. I already looked it up. But yeah, I'm coming right back out here where the Delta is. So that's where they'll put the shops, right on that side. But yeah, this has been a plan in action for a long time, and we've all been sleeping through it. And we've all been going about our lives too busy to notice. And I don't know. It's just so frustrating. It's just so heartbreaking. Anyways, let me go back across the street with the walkway. Back to the Watertown Savings Bank here. There's the American flag up there. Incorporated 1870. Okay, this says erected 1921, but the one on the side didn't say that. It said 1890 something. Okay. Incorporated 1870. It also says founded 1870. Does founded and incorporated mean the same thing? Here. 1 Galen Street, Watertown Savings Bank. I didn't realize Galen Street was this far over. Never noticed that. That door on there is 1 Galen Street. This one over here is Main Street. Same building. But oh, I'm past what I wanted to finish at. So I'm just gonna walk up here and look at this one more time. And I'll continue this video at home with the book. But designed and built in 1892. And over there it said 1921. Huh. Interesting. I'm gonna have to look at these pictures and figure this out. All right, anyways, love you all. Take care. Hopefully that will be helpful in figuring out what's going on in Watertown. I don't know. But one last shot here of this lovely chemtrail spiraling down the sky. And if you zoom in way down the street there, you will see the church with the pride flag. Captured. Every time I see a church with a pride flag, I think captured. Anyways. But I'm gonna go back home spend the day with my daughter, and love you all. Take care. Please be sure to like, share, subscribe, you know, do the thing.